photos. They tell stories trapped in time. Hello, everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of the Game Changers podcast. My name is Quinn Sejis, and it's a privilege and pleasure to introduce my next guest to you. His name is Akim Thomas, and he has a passion for photography. So much so that he has transformed this passion into a business. It's my privilege and my honor to introduce Akim Thomas to you. Hello, Akim.
Right.
How you doing, man?
Everything's good, my bro.
Great to hear. Great to hear, man. You know, it's been a while since I've been trying to get you on here. I'm happy that you're finally here.
Yeah, man. Definitely a pleasure to be on here. I know, I think Prizzy requested
Right.
me to be here all last year. So, yeah, man. Definitely
Right.
good to be here.
It was him, and then I think somebody else recommended you as well. So, I mean,
Was it somebody recently?
yeah, somebody recent. I can't remember who.
Imran, most likely.
More than
Was
likely,
it
it's
him?
Imran.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most likely, man. Big up Imran, though.
You got recommended multiple times, so I'm happy that you're here.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
Somebody who got recommended so many times needs to tell the world who they are. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, first and foremost, my name is Akim Thomas. Live in Barbados, Warsaw, and I'm a photographer and videographer. So most likely, you can just classify me as a creative individual. Very introverted. Surprisingly, a lot of people would, wouldn't really expect that because, you're creative. They expect to be more out there, but I usually just keep to myself. And recently, I'm kind of new to the whole social media and just like creative space. So it's a big change for me, but at the same time, it's something that I'm adapting to, and I actually kind of like it, just putting myself out there. So yeah.
Lovely. Now you
Yeah,
said
man.
you're a photographer and videographer. Where did that start for you? How did you get into that?
It's kind of strange. It all started last year, and things have picked up so quickly. It just all stemmed from I haven't really told that many people that, but it kind of stemmed from just depression, just constantly just waking up and doing the exact same thing over and over. So I work at Rainforest Adventures, it's a zipline place. I don't really do much. I don't really go outside much. Like I said, I'm introverted, so just getting up and just going to work over and over and over. It was kind of boring. I was like, all right, you know what? I need to develop a hobby. I need to do something else. And I couldn't really think of anything else. I mean, I did drawing. Drawing is cool, but I get tired of drawing very quickly.
Right.
So then I was like, all right, I was like, all right, I need to pick something else. What else can I pick? So I had a piece of paper. I remember I was on YouTube. They were, recommending things to like build up yourself as a young man. And I was like, all right, cool. What should I do? I wrote down a list of things that I was interested in. And YouTube was one of them. Streaming was one of them, just playing video games. And then I remember I took some pictures of my friends a couple of years back. And I was like, you know what? I'm just put photography on there. I never really thought it would turn out to be something, but I just put it on there. And then about a few weeks passed, and then YouTube started recommending me photography, like little videos here and there. And I was like, you know what, maybe that could be the thing, And then I remember literally I just came from work one day. I just went on Amazon, did no research whatsoever. I just bought a camera, it came down, and the rest is history. That's pretty much it.
Beautiful. I like how you just winged it, basically.
Yeah, man.
You just got into it. Okay, so since you've been a photographer, tell me what that journey has been like thus far.
It's been very interesting because even if I've been doing it for a year now, I actually took a break for 6 months because a lot of people don't know this photography is very expensive. Like just dabbling into that, the lenses, the camera, the software, all that kind of stuff. And it takes a lot of time to actually learn all the stuff that you need to actually become a photographer. So for the first couple of months, it was fun. It was something that I did as a hobby. I never expected to get paid from it. And then started linking up with a couple of people here and there. And I was like, all right, cool. I can either really push for this right now and have no money, or I can take a break from it, work really hard, and then once I'm done accumulating some money, get back to it. So I was like, all right, cool. What's the sensible thing to do? I was like, all right, cool. Let me just take a break for 6 months. Took a break for 6 months. And then as soon as I was about to get back into photography, I was in an accident. So that was a major setback. Yeah, I got hit by a drunk driver like 3 months ago. Almost died. And a lot of people would see that as like, I would say, like a disadvantage, like be really disappointed. But for me, it was more of like a driving force because like the moment I got hit, I was like, "Alright, cool. If I die right now, I didn't really achieve any of my dreams. I didn't really accomplish too much, and I didn't want to just leave that behind. So I was like, "Alright, cool. You know what? The moment I get back on my feet, I get back at it."
Mm-hmm.
And literally 6 days later, I think it was after the accident, a friend of mine, Imperial Productions, he hit me up. He was like, "Yo, you know what? We have a wedding to go and do." A lot of people would just stay home and they would just relax, you in pain and whatnot. I was like, "Nah." Painkillers, did the photo shoot. And after that, that's how I actually got into videography because a couple days after, like 3 days after, it was like, "Yo, let me introduce you to a guy called Jadi." And I was like, "I just go down there." I knew nothing about video. I've only been doing videography for about 4 months now. And to link up with somebody like Jadi who's done work for Bank of St. Lucia and all these
Right.
other, big companies, it means a lot. So yeah.
Yeah, we've actually had Jade on here as well, and he was a great guest. He was a phenomenal guest. So yeah,
Yeah, I
man,
saw that on your channel. Yeah, man.
for sure. But I like that story. Accidents or bad things tend to put life into perspective. Would you agree
Mm.
with that?
Yeah, definitely. If honestly, I probably if I got hit by the vehicle, I would have probably still been a photographer. Like I said, I had no intentions of being a videographer, and now that's
Right.
like the only thing that I do now. I just make videos. So yeah, definitely a
Interesting.
blessing in disguise.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
All right. So I know you do this professionally. When did you
hmm
decide to create a business around this thing?
Well, I started taking it seriously. I think after I did the current graduation,
Mm-hmm.
because again, it was just more of a hobby. So Father Nature Adventures, right?
Yes.
So yeah, so he's a really good friend of mine. I would just go out on little trips with him, take pictures of my friends and whatnot. But I would just tell people like, you know what, I'm a photographer. But really and truly, I never really believed it. And then I linked up with another photographer. I think it was Sneaky Pics Productions or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we did the Quorum graduation together. And that's when I was like, all right, cool. If, he actually seen potential in me and he's somebody who's been doing this for 10 years. And tell me, like, he gave me the encouragement. I was like, all right, cool. Maybe if I just push a little bit harder, it might actually turn into something. And then
Mm-hmm.
I remember I bought my first professional lens after that. And then, yeah, that's how it turned into a business. It's something that I started to take a bit more seriously because other people started taking me seriously. So I started to believe in myself because of them.
Interesting. That's nice, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
and I see, the best businesses grow out of your hobbies. At least that's what I think. Because I mean, it's passionate for you. It's really your passion, and you won't feel like you're necessarily working, but you're enjoying the process as well. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think it was the footballer Wayne Rooney. He said like, if you do something that you love, like as a job, then you never actually see it as a job. And I
Yes.
remember being a little boy and hearing him say that, so I was like, alright, cool. Because we only in there for a limited amount of time. There's
Mm-hmm.
no reason in you spending a bunch of time just being miserable. Oh, I don't like to go to work. I don't like doing this. Like, find something that you love and then just try your best to perfect that craft, and then you'll never really feel like you're working a day in your life. You'll actually be happy doing that kind of stuff. So, and I think that's one thing that I don't really like about St. Lucia and school in general.
Mm-hmm.
School kind of like stifles creativity when it comes to children. So it's like, you go to school, you learn, you get a book, you go look an office job for the rest of your life. And if you don't do something like that, then they consider you to be unsuccessful,
Right.
which is like a mentality I think a lot of solutions should break. But then yeah, that'll probably just happen if maybe our generation or maybe the next generation to come. So who knows? Hopefully it does break. So yeah.
I agree with that. Yes, and well, our generation tends to have a different mindset where that is concerned. So hopefully, when we become the age of all the professionals, the world will have changed with us. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully that's something that we need to evolve into, especially in St. Lucia, because again we have a lot of talent in St. Lucia. I mean, you
Yep.
yourself you've interviewed a handful of people, but again that's just scraping just the top.
Yep.
But
Yep.
that's for there are people that actually have the talent, but they don't have the money, or they don't really have the support from others, or it's like they don't really have any form of like how would I say it motivation.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody else in St. Lucia doing it yet, so it's like if nobody else is doing it, why would I succeed? And they look at people from America like may have more opportunity than me, but at the end of the day, bro, it's the internet. And with the internet, anything's possible. I know people that have gone from just like I always tell a friend of mine is all you need is just one video or one picture, and you can be like the next big thing. So yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And with the internet, you can go viral in just a snap of a finger.
Yeah, man. I personally realized that I have a reels on my Instagram that have like 60,000 views,
Wow.
20,000 views, and again, I'm not into social media. I only made an Instagram like what 2 years ago.
Right.
I struggle to even get on that app. That's to show you how much I don't even really know about social media. So for me to actually like for somebody like me to do it, and I know I've just come on it. So perhaps for people are there long before, but yeah,
Absolutely. I agree with that. So,
yeah,
okay. So, I know you shoot professionally for businesses, but some business owners might say, okay, I have a camera or I have a phone. Why can't I take images for myself? Speak to the importance of having professional work done for businesses.
Well, first and foremost, it's basically just your appearance, especially with the age that we're living in with social media.
Hmm.
It's like a suit, basically. So, say for example, you show up. That's the first thing people see on the internet. So, say for example, you're take you for example, you're a talk show host,
Hmm.
and then people come and they see a low quality or low resolution video. They'll not want to watch that. Which I
Right.
saying? So, likewise with any form of business, you also want to make sure that you produce like the highest resolution as possible. And a lot of people, even if with the technology that we have with our phones and whatnot, it's kind of
Hmm.
hard to do. It's just better that you actually just hire a professional, somebody that actually knows what they're about. And it actually just makes it much easier because then you can actually just market and say, hey, that's the dress that I have, or that's the t-shirt that I'm selling, or whatever it might be. So it is very
Hmm.
important. We just wait to have, again, just in terms of just quality and someone that actually knows what you want and they can actually bring out like a creative aspect in that instead of you putting that burden on yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah. And sometimes as business professionals, we try to do everything by ourselves, and
Mm-hmm.
that's not practical. It's not scalable. You need help from other people. And too often, I see professionals trying to manage everything by themselves and burn themselves out, like you said. They burden themselves.
Yeah,
So
man,
yeah, I
that's
think that's great
definitely,
advice
yeah.
for sure. All right. Now, I've interviewed, I have lost track of how many, but several people from your community.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is there in Babano that makes you want to become an entrepreneur? Because I've seen several of them from your community. What about Babano might cause that?
I think it's just drive, like this basically, I would kind of say like it's an effect. So say for example, one person has success and then you look at it, it's like, you know what, I grew up with Diamond. If Diamond can be successful, what's
Hmm.
stopping me? And then you try your own thing and then you get success from it. And then he tries his own thing and even like with again, I'm blessed to be friends with some really good creatives, Premier Luna,
Hmm.
UCI Rock and share there right now.
Yeah.
Father Nature Adventures. I've known these guys from since kindergarten, growing up. I've also gone to school with people like Black Boy and making music and whatnot.
Mm.
So again, when you just look around you, it's like, all right, cool. If them one can do it, we grew up the same place, we know each other. We have such a good connection. So then why can't I do it? That's why I think that
Absolutely.
it is in Babono. And the thing I like about Babono is people are very supportive. I don't know if it's because we're still a much smaller community and we're more together in
Hmm.
terms of like family and that kind of stuff. But because of the togetherness, you find a lot of people promote more than actually fight down, maybe like in other places or other communities. I can't really speak for other communities, but I just speak for Babono. That's one
Hmm.
thing that I realized. Like, if somebody see you doing something, it's like, they might not really feel it, but just the fact that, you're from Babono or Force or it is, they'll just come and give us support. So, yeah, that's one thing I definitely like about Babono.
Absolutely. I love that, man. It always impresses me, the togetherness of that community in particular. It's really good to see. I think it's
Yeah,
important for the development of young minds, young creatives like yourself and myself, that we have that support for sure.
yeah, man. Definitely.
All right, so we're moving on to my personal favorite segment of a Game Changers interview. It's called the Quick
Mm-hmm.
Hitters. Now, these are rapid fire questions. It will tell a little bit about yourself, but it will also
Mm-hmm.
give good insight. So if you can answer these questions in 30 seconds or less.
All right, I'll try my best, man. Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
You'll try. All right. So, first quick hitter question. Give me 3 quick camera tips that the average person can use to improve their skills.
Right. Well, most likely, let's just say we're using our phones, right? So number one is to always use the registered focal length for your phone. So if your phone has 2 cameras, a lot of people they try to zoom in. Whenever you zoom in, it gets pixelated. So all you have to do is just tap on it, and it will give you, say, for example, a 1.5 zoom or 2x zoom. It's always good to use that because you get the best quality from your phone. Another thing you can do is to go into like the settings and just add like the grid layout. So I wish I could explain it a bit better, but it's like, it's a little bit of a square. So just lines going across it. And the best thing you always want to do is always place your subject in the middle of that square. So like in the head, so for example, it's right here, you want to place the person's head or the eyes on that line. And that's basically just called leading lines or the rule of thirds. Photographers will definitely know what I'm talking about. So it just gives a little bit more insight to, I'd say like just leading your eyes towards that. It draws attention to it. And then the third one's very simple. Just make sure your lens clean. Just clean your lens because you don't want to have a smudgy picture and whatnot. So, and even if a little bit of a bonus tip, for Instagram, do not add Instagram filters. It destroys the quality of your photos. A lot of people don't know that, but it really destroys the quality of the photos. So yeah.
Wow. You see, I asked for 3, you give me 4. So
No, I
I'm,
can go
I'm
on for
very
a while
happy.
because again, I'm a photographer. There are a lot of things I see people do when they upload pictures. I'm like,
Yeah,
but yeah, definitely.
I can imagine. Okay. My next quick hitter question. I ask all my tech guests that. Apple or Android? And tell me why.
Well, a phone is a phone, but to be honest, Apple. That's what I actually reckon on there right now. Should I give a reason as to why Apple, or just leave it as that?
Yes, please.
Well, I used to be an Android person, but Android just they're not really on the ball. They're not really up to speed for me. So with Apple, I know I get the latest updates immediately. Latest emojis, whatnot. And again, it's a secure phone. I know if I use my phone, I can just lock that and what the person have to do. I can also send a message to the person telling them, return my phone to that number, whatever it is. So yeah, I've been using it for like 7 years now. No complaints. The quality is good, and the phones they what their resale value, so you can sell a phone from like 6 years ago for like a good price afterwards. Yeah, man.
Fair enough. My final quick hitter question for you. Who would you like to see on Game Changers?
Well, you mentioned Babono. I've seen Babono have so much talent. I don't know if you can see that Luxury Bunnies.
Yeah, for sure.
He's been doing his thing for a while now. Yeah, he
Interesting.
has rabbits that he's actually selling. Again, it lives like 5 minutes away from me. So yeah, definitely. I think I would recommend him definitely to come on the show. Yeah, man.
For sure. That's a pretty interesting business. So for sure, I would like to listen to that interview for sure. Beautiful. Okay. So this is the end of our quick hitter segment. We're going into the latter half of the interview. I know most creatives like yourself are inspired by people. Who inspires you?
That's a question because, again, I'm not really a social media person, so I would probably say I want to say it's a solution, but I can't say that. On the videography side of things, a creator called Henbu. He's worked with Nike, he's worked with Honda, he's worked with the UFC as well, NFL. So he knows his stuff. I just like the cinematic look that he actually has to his videos. So that's what the video side of things. And photography, I'll probably say Peter McKinnon. Yeah, definitely Peter McKinnon. Yeah, he's a really, really good photographer. I've learned a lot from him. He's actually one of the first people, like when I got into photography, one of the very first YouTubers I actually watched. So definitely Peter McKinnon. Yeah.
Yeah, I love watching his videos as well. I mean, I'm not into photography, but just as a creative, I love his art and, his creative process.
Yeah, I like the fact that he doesn't just stick to just photography. Like, he just talks about the camera, but he also gives like a bit more of like an insight to his life. So it's kind of like you can learn about cameras, but at the same time, you just enjoy him as an individual, which is just really nice. Yeah.
For sure. I like that a lot. Yeah, that's a great name. Anybody who wants to become a photographer or is just a creative, for sure, check out Peter McKinnon.
Yeah,
he's great. All right. Now, we kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but what do you think can be done specifically to improve the creative arts in St. Lucia?
Well, I think
I know
we
that's a
mentioned a
tough
little bit
question.
earlier. I think they have just two things that hold solutions back a lot when it comes to just being more creative. Definitely, and it's not just a solution thing. I think it's a worldwide thing. The schooling system. School is very
Hmm.
backwards. Even when I was going to school, and I can say it now, but then back then as a child, you can't really voice that to your parents. But school is backwards because when you watch it, you go to school, you open a book from someone you probably don't even know. He probably died already. Was he successful? You probably even know. May probably never touch $500,000 in his life. And then you're learning something from him. Then there's
Right.
the notion that solutions, you should go up the mountain, then get an office job and work with government. And then if you're lucky, you get a retirement
Right.
pension and what. But when you look at it, especially in the day and age that we live in with the price of things just skyrocketing, it's just like, nah. For me, it's not really a good way to live. And they have a lot of creative solutions. Like even if the music, even if I listen to Spanish music, fellas creative. Fellas have, we
Hmm.
have producers, we have artists. Again, we have people that can actually draw, designers, poets, all that kind of stuff. But then in school, it's not really expanded upon it. All you just do is just learn how to be a good employee. That's one thing school actually has you become a good employee. So
Right.
definitely, if there's a way that we can actually, how do I say it, nurture our children to actually grow their creative side. So, for example, when I was going to school, the only creative thing I did was visual arts, and even then, it's very constricted because I would draw
Hmm.
something, and then the teacher would be like, "Yeah, I don't know." Like, but I'm not drawing for you. I draw for myself. Papa. I draw for you. So again, it's very constricted.
Right.
So definitely the schooling system, and the second one, customs. Definitely, man, because customs is for somebody like me who's a photographer who wants to get into videography. Say, for example, I buy a camera 5 grand. So now paying like $800 to clear that. And they say they
Yes.
adding some
Yeah.
1.5 tax to whatever. It's like, dog, like, if I buy that camera for $5,000, I'm not going and play around with that. I try to make some real money around it. You showing you. So definitely, I think there are a lot of people that I've spoken to them and they're like, yeah, I really want to start on this, but I have to order that and that comes to this money. And this is like, it's a real hindrance. But the government, they are trying though. Because I think there's a youth program where they're giving out grants and whatnot. But then even then, the pacing of that and how slow that
Right.
actually is, that's another problem in itself. So yeah, those are just the only two that I can think of right now.
Absolutely. And I agree with that a lot. And you're right. The Youth
Mm-hmm.
Economy Agency, sorry, is giving out grants to, young professionals, young entrepreneurs. So I would encourage any St. Lucian who wants to become part of that to get on board because it's really good and it gives you that bumper start that you would need, to that input that can help you in business. And that's the biggest thing in business. I mean, if you don't have capital to start, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
man,
a struggle.
it's a good help.
So,
And plus, again, it's free. So
uh,
why not?
exactly, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I think you should definitely, if you're looking forward to that, or you're looking towards developing a business, check
Yeah,
out the
man.
year for sure. All right. Many people say that the photography and videography fields are overcrowded. Do you agree?
So for videography, again, this is a new field I just entered. I'd probably say no.
Mm-hmm.
But for photography, yeah, I definitely, yeah, definitely. The amount of photographers they have in Social, it's insane. But the good thing about it is that there's levels to it. So it's like, people that just have cameras because they have cameras. I know hitting on them and that. And then there are the people that just starting off.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like the top, you say 10%. To break into the top 10%,
Mm-hmm.
personally, if you ask me, I don't find it that hard. It's just, or the amount of time that you're willing to take to just put into your craft. How much, you can say how much money you're
Mm-hmm.
willing to spend as well. But money isn't, you can even say that's not important
Mm-hmm.
because there are people I know that shoot on like 10-year-old cameras and they produce really good images. But then, yeah, it all depends on how much time you want to put into it and how much effort you want to put into it as well. So, is it oversaturated? Yes. Would I say that it's impossible to break into? Definitely not. But yeah,
Lovely. I like that answer. It's a
yeah,
balanced
man.
answer. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, so we winding down. somebody is interested
Mhm.
in your work and wants to contact you, wants to do business with you, how can they get in contact with
Well, the
you?
easiest way would actually just be through my Instagram. So you can actually reach out to me on Akim the Dream Photography on Instagram and also my WhatsApp
Mhm.
as well. So once you go on my Instagram, all my stuff is linked in on there as well. I also have email as well. So yeah, I'm also planning on setting up a YouTube page for when I actually get into a little bit deeper into videography. Just as a portfolio, so people actually just run for my
Mhm.
work and that kind of stuff, and then probably expand into later forms of social media like TikTok, which I had, but I deleted that because that stuff is a whole different world by itself there. So yeah, man.
Right,
Yeah, man.
for sure. All right, so we'll leave the link to your
Mm,
Instagram down below,
thank you.
so so people
Yeah,
can
man.
check you
Definitely
out
appreciate that.
for sure. All right, so a young person is fascinated with photography and wants to become a photographer. What would your advice be to them?
Well, I probably tell him to find something else to do because boy, that's self. No, but like in all honesty, it photography is something. It's not really like any other. I would say it's not like any other art form, especially photography and videography, because it's a balance between how passionate you are and how hard you're willing to work.
Mhm.
And also, as much as a lot of people say like you have to be talented, but we're just gonna skip past talent. But again, how much passion, how much drive you have for it, and how hard you're willing to work. Because you can be very passionate
Mhm.
about it, and you're not really putting out your work. You're not putting your work out there. You're not really reaching out to people. You'll not get anything from it. And how hard you're willing to work as well. Because again, it's very expensive. The equipment's very expensive. You have to now put yourself out there, get another job to try and supplement and try and get, let's say, the camera and the equipment that you need, and then you have to put in the hours. Because
Mhm.
again, for photography, it takes a now it's much easier with AI and whatnot, but it still takes a really long time to actually just break into the field because you actually have to learn, and even you have to now know how to make the short format videos and whatnot. It's not just about making pictures and whatnot again. So yeah, it's I wouldn't necessarily yeah, it's basically just a balance. That's what it is. Yeah,
I understand. Again, I like the realness of that answer. You've been very
yeah, man,
realistic, not just telling people to just enter it because sometimes people just say go for it, and then they go for it, and then they struggle crazy,
yeah, man.
you know.
Because
So
even for like me,
yeah, go
even
ahead.
for me, I'll not lie to you. There were a couple of times I just like I should just sell my camera and just find something else to do because again, it's something that let's say for example you invest $6,000 and there's no guarantee that you'll get your $6,000 back. So for somebody like that actually working like a lesser paying job, I wouldn't really advise them to just jump into it. Maybe you can start off with your phone and start off with what you have on
Hmm.
like a render camera. If you have a friend that has a work camera, then use their camera. But for you to just jump in headfirst into photography and try to compete with the big dogs, then it's a little bit harder. But again, you have to be passionate about it. And that's where passion and drive comes in. Yeah, man.
Got you. I agree with that. That's great advice, man. I like that. Okay, let's switch back for my final question to you personally. Where do you see your business going in the next 5 years?
That's actually again with the way like just the sporadic nature of my business. Because like I said, I only started doing
Hmm.
videography like 3 months ago. So hopefully in the next 5 years we could actually be like a really big production company. Um, I personally will probably just be doing the editing side of things and sending people out there to actually record work for me. But then to say like
Hmm.
I want it to be like a multi-billion dollar, nah. I think that my problem is that I'm just a bit too passionate about it, and I want to have too much control over what
Right.
actually comes out. So realistically, in the next 5 years,
Hmm.
I would just want my name to be a bit more known regionally, doing music videos or just doing photo shoots and that kind of stuff. So yeah, definitely just to just grow in terms of like notoriety. Yeah, yeah, man.
For sure. For sure. And I mean, with somebody with as much drive and who is very realistic,
Mm-hmm.
like I know you are, based on our conversation, I can see that happening. For
All
sure, I
right,
can see
man.
that happening. So yeah, man. I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
that
man.
for
Definitely
you.
when it happens, you go have another interview, and then I can come in and be like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I believe
For
you. Yeah.
sure. For sure. I always pitch my guests. Schedule the follow up. When you hit your goals, I want to see, where you were then and where you are now. So I mean,
Yeah,
for
man.
sure,
As long as we act
for
well,
sure,
not as long as we will get there. So once we get there and I have the time, then yeah, definitely you can make that happen.
for sure.
Yeah,
I
man.
look forward to it, bro. This has been a
Mm-hmm.
great interview, and to thank you for coming on.
Yeah,
You
man.
were a great
Thanks.
guest. I look forward, like I said a while ago, to you doing big things, not just for your community, not just for Saint Lucia, but internationally
Yeah,
as
man.
well. So keep it up, and to thank you
Yeah,
again
man.
for
Definitely
coming on.
appreciate the kind words. And same to you as well, man. Hopefully, in the next
Absolutely.
couple of years, you're not interviewing people like me, much more larger international people. Yeah,
All
man.
right. All right. Thank you so
Yeah, man.
very
You're
much for
welcome.
that. Okay, guys, this has been yet another Game Changers episode. I want to encourage you to like and subscribe. We are on all streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, you can get Game Changers. Download the episodes. I always encourage you guys to download the episodes so you can listen on the go. You're on a vehicle, you're driving, you want to listen to something inspirational, download the episodes and listen to it on the go. Look forward to you doing so.
Yeah, man.
Anyhow, as per usual, thank you for coming on. And until next time, stay hungry. And I'll see you then. Bye bye.